YOLO Truth Seekers. Now, I want to talk to you guys about Project Paperclip, more specifically around the end of World War II. And I have a really big question in regards to Project Paperclip that no one ever asks. And that is about the Russian Project Paperclip, or the Soviet Project Paperclip at that time. Now, for you people that don't know what the Project Paperclip was, it was essentially after we defeated the Germans, we took everything and anything we thought was valuable to our future and our life. So if it was scientists, we took scientists. If we found papers, blueprints, machinery, anything that was gonna give us an edge. So all those black projects that the Nazis were working on, we took those scientists, we took their projects, and we continued them, and we made them flourish better than the Germans did. That's not to say if they had time, they couldn't have achieved similar things, but we took all that shit and we made it happen, right? Now, that none of that is conspiracy theory. All that is conspiracy fact. It's open source. Anyone can Google that and find what Project Paperclip is. But what is hard to find is the Soviet version of Project Paperclip, because they did the exact same thing we did. They took these scientists, they took all these objects, all the machinery to build this stuff, all the technology, the paperwork, the blueprints, anything and everything. We split them in half pretty much, right? So America took a bunch of it and Russia took a bunch of it. Now, this is the reason why so I'll say this. So World War I, World War II, Russia and America, we were always allies, right? It was another Caucasian Christian country just on the other side of the world. So we've always kind of been on the same side. But after World War II, we had like they call it the Cold War, but what it really was is we had a race for technology. We had a race to see who is the better, right? And the way I see it is like when two friends compete to achieve something. And I know that sounds really weird to you guys if we was saying that, but it really was that way, because we've never really been at war with each other. We've been in proxy wars, but that's politics and that's the military complex, and there's a whole different reasoning behind that. But during this so-called Cold War, everything that we did, the Russians did. Everything that the Russians did, we did. Anything we made, they made. Anything they made, we made. And it wasn't because both sides have these amazing spies that gathered all this information and they were able to implement it instantly. No, it was because we took the same scientists that were working on these breakthrough technologies and we both worked on them individually, right? So in terms of like, let's say the nuclear technology, America was ahead of that. In terms of the rocket technology, Russia was ahead of that. Did we catch up with landing a person on the moon? We most definitely did. But at the same time, if you look at all the achievements during and prior to that, the Russians actually were ahead of us in their rocket programs. Even though we had the better infrastructure, we had put in more money, and that just so happened to be the case. It was the same thing with aircraft technology. We both created very similar looking aircraft at almost the same exact time. Rocket, like, I don't mean like spaceship rockets, but I mean like missile rockets. Like, we both worked on everything at the same time. Laser technology, right? To shoot things down with lasers, like these wonder weapons that Hitler wanted. Well, all those scientists that were working on all that shit, we took them, and the Russians took them. And I'm not here to big up Germany. I'm not here to big up the US. I'm not here to big up the Soviet Union or Russia. But what I do want to know, and what I do want an open discussion about, is I want to find out information about the Russian or the Soviet version of Project Paperclip, because there's so many unanswered lingering questions in regards to all that technology, how it all came about, how it progressed. Like, if you're a history buff, or a history nerd, or if you're a scientist, there's so many unanswered questions. And if we knew what their version of Project Paperclip was like, we can answer a lot of questions that we have lingering. Because there's so much conspiracy theory surrounding Germany and wonder weapons, right? Including the UFO theory. Like, there's blueprints and evidence in regards to the Germans starting to work on UFO technology, right? And this is around the time that the world starts seeing a boom in UFO sightings. And then we, the US and Soviet Union, took all this information, turned them into black projects, and we don't really get to hear anything else about it. And I think if we heard the Russian version of Project Paperclip, or if someone out there knows, I would love for you to share some of that information with me, to me. Share it. If you share it with me, please. It'll be awesome, especially if there's video. I'm sure Russia makes its own History Channel documentaries about their progress and the crazy shit they did, right? So if you can link me to any of their stuff that has some English subtitles or is translated, I'd love to go down that rabbit hole, because that's a real rabbit hole of information that I think we can all learn from and grow from, right? Because information is vital, man. I'm a person that I'm always thirsty for more information, even if it's sometimes out there, just because I read about something, that doesn't mean I believe everything, but that doesn't mean I don't want to hear it. If it's not popular, that doesn't mean I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to try and understand it. Now, whether I accept it and implement it in my life, that's a completely different thing. Or whether if I take it as 100% truth, that's a completely different thing than just knowing the information, if that makes sense. So I would love to know more about this. So this is me sharing my perspective. I'd love to hear yours. Peace.